Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'm going to do my best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. I also did a demo for the brand new, what do they call this thing? The Keystone 3 Pro, which they sent me an alpha version, but it does have most of its functionality. So I'll do some demos with that tonight and show you how to do air-gapped transactions. So join me. Thanks for being here. Let's go over and see who's here tonight. Oh yeah, I think we need to shift the monitor. We need the right monitor. This one. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes my software gets confused here. Let's turn the mic down just a tad. I'm going into the red. Alma G, thanks for being here. A lot of people are curious, and if you're on the periphery of investing in crypto, getting involved in crypto, you're most likely just buying it on an exchange and you don't know how to use a wallet. So one of the main purposes of my channel is to educate people on how to store crypto safely and securely in their own wallets. The other thing I do a lot is to show people how to get their crypto out of their wallets. I've done quite a few videos on how to store crypto in a wallet, and then one of the biggest questions I get is, how do I get it out? You know, so I try to do both ends of the transaction. So we'll see what we can do tonight. Let's see, we were over here. I just wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight. Kenny, as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for being early. Thanks for the news stories. Pasted a few of your news stories into the chat window tonight. Andreas Ebert is here also. He was here early. Was asking about a Bitcoin full node. I was a little curious as to what his goal is with that. We can talk about that a little more. Joseph Tarbuck Jr., thanks for being here. Simon is here. Thanks for being here. C-Slide Joe, thanks for being here. Alma G. Patrick Van Houten, one of the most legit people in crypto. Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that. Amsterdam Holland is here with the popcorn and the beer. And Joanne L is here. That's great. Chippy. See, Chippy. Another repeat viewer, Christopher Thane. Appreciate you being here. Morning from Australia. Cool. Orlando Gonzalez. What happens when you use recovery keys to have all your crypto assigned to a new wallet if the new wallet does not support some of the coins supported by your previous wallet? Are they still there? That's a very good question. I had that issue when I did a migration video from a Ledger backup seed to a Trezor backup seed. And as I've mentioned several times, the Trezor does not support all the coins that the Ledger does. And it even interprets the path slightly differently. So there's a few little quirks when you import some seed phrases into alternate wallets, right? But in answer to your question, the crypto is still there. The crypto is stored basically in your backup phrase. So if you've imported your backup phrase into a new wallet that doesn't support all of the crypto that you stored in there previously with a different wallet, then you'll either have to sort of use the previous wallet, which you can do, or in the case of I lost or I don't want my previous wallet anymore, you'll probably have to find another wallet that can handle those missing cryptos. And there are plenty of wallets out there that are BIP39 compatible. So you'll have to sort of experiment with what works best for you. But rest assured, all of your crypto is quote unquote there. You're just not going to be able to manage it in the new wallet that you imported your seed phrase into, if it's Trezor or whatever it is. But you'll have to figure out which wallet. You might need to use multiple wallets in that situation. Yeah, so your crypto is definitely there, even though it's not supported in the wallet that you're currently using. Let's see. Can't wait for ETH Tornado. Good evening to all. Asil, thanks for being here. Mustafa Lam, Walter Ziggett, Zikovic. I hope that rolls right off my tongue there. Have you seen lady claiming she was stolen all XRP from Ledger? I've heard lots of people claiming that their ledgers were hacked and all of their crypto was stolen. That's not uncommon. And in 99%, I don't want to be facetious here. Let's say, I don't know, let's just put it this way. In general, it is always, almost always, at some point, that particular user revealed their seed phrase words. And that is how they, another person emptied out their ledger. To date, there is no hack that allows a hacker to reach into your ledger device and transfer your crypto out. It just doesn't happen. There are lots of people out there that claim that it does because they accidentally reveal their seed phrase, they're tricked into revealing their seed phrase, or they just carelessly reveal their seed phrase. And all an attacker has to do once they have your seed phrase is restore it to one of their wallets, and they have access to the crypto. They can transfer it out to their own wallet. That's generally what happens when people claim that their hardware wallets were hacked. To date, and if you go on Reddit, you'll find all kinds of people claiming that their hardware wallets were hacked. And then after you follow the discussion down, you find that that person revealed their seed phrase at some point. Anyway, Ledger is not breached. If you've never been in my live stream before, I've got some goodies for you in the description. This is one of my latest Stable Diffusion pictures that I generated. I tried to do it in a comic style. I'm not an expert at Stable Diffusion, which is an AI text-to-image program, but I did manage to take a lot of pictures of myself that were taken with cameras on my iPhone and, for my thumbnails and all that, and train what's called a LoRa so that I can include that LoRa in my text description. And it does a pretty good job of recreating my image and likeness. This is kind of what we're looking at. I've taken like a whole bunch of pictures that I took of myself, and then you can see there's like some text descriptions over here to the side, and then you can see here that these are some pictures of me just in general that were also included. And then the LoRa gets trained on that, and then I've got some pictures that I can show you, hopefully. These. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see that it doesn't always do a wonderful job of recreating my likeness. Like, that one is okay, but it doesn't, for example, this one, it doesn't even look like me. And these that I have in this folder are the ones that were the cream of the crop. Some of them turn out really weird looking. But yeah, I've been having fun with that. I'm trying to train a LoRa on the new Stable Diffusion SDXL so that I can use that to generate some new images of me, which might be interesting. I'm not that happy with this one, but it's okay. right? Anyway, join me tonight. We're going to talk about the news. I've got a Keystone 3 prototype here that they were gracious enough to send me. We'll play around with that. I've got a description, or I've got an affiliate link for that, which will give you a 30% discount if you're interested. It is one of the most secure platform/wallets out there. A little cumbersome to use, a little bit of a learning curve, but if security is your top priority, then it's a very good wallet. I heartily recommend it if you're heavy into security, and we'll be playing with it tonight. Also, some cool stuff that I've got here for you guys is I've got some Amazon links now that can take you over, and let me just quickly, give you a 30% Let me just quickly show you what happens when you click this link here. A lot of you ask about my rig, and I've been meaning to do this for a really long time. And I found some news about Amazon influencer pages. So I have this influencer page that's just related to me, which is kind of cool if you're into that sort of thing. And I've put together a little list here of all of the components that are in my rig, you know, starting with the fans and the keyboard and the little components, the case, which is really cool. And then, you know, my CPU, my motherboard, my graphics card, my memory, all that cool stuff if you're interested in that. And then down here a little further, I've got another Amazon link. If you're interested in getting any of these particular wallets, they are available on Amazon. The nice thing about Amazon is, you know, it's easy, quick, and if you don't like it, you can return it. You know, that's one thing I love about my Amazon. So there are a bunch of wallets that I talk about that are available on Amazon. You know, Ledger, Trezor, Ballet, Descent, Secure X. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can just get on Amazon. And a lot of people wonder, is it okay to buy these wallets on Amazon? Will they be hacked wallets? You know, most of these, I believe Trezor and Ledger actually sell directly on Amazon. Sometimes it's a third party, but most of these wallets have tamper-resistant architecture. The Ledger has a cryptographic a genuine check. So, you know, most of these wallets are fine to buy on Amazon. I wouldn't really buy them on like eBay. Even I would, you know, I mean, because I know how to like reset a wallet and all that stuff and make sure it's genuine. Even if somebody tries to trick me into using a preset seed phrase, I would just reset the wallet. But, you know, my recommendation for general users are that, hey, if I mean, in my mind, if I can get it on Amazon, that's my go-to place because I know I can get it fast and I know I can send it back if I don't want it. So anyway, I set up my little Amazon page, which, you know, whatever. So I just wanted to point that out to all my loyal followers. And also affiliate links to get wallets direct. There are some wallets like the Engrave you can't get on Amazon. And then here are some affiliate links for some cryptocurrency exchanges. Let's jump into the news, guys. I know I've been blabbering on a little bit. Bitcoin wobbles at 29,000. It seems like it's kind of been getting progressively lower over the last month or so. I think, you know, a few weeks back we had like that yearly high where we were up around 31,500, and it's just kind of gotten steadily lower. We had a not very good week in the stock market, and that kind of brought everything down, including crypto, which is for most investors considered a risk asset. So, you know, there are a lot of hardcore crypto investors that are going to buy and hold no matter what. but there are a large percentage of crypto investors who, as I mentioned, look at it as a risk asset, and that'll be the first thing that goes when the markets start to go down. They need to raise capital or raise cash or whatever, so the first thing will be their risk assets, their most volatile things, right? So Bitcoin usually suffers when the broader markets go down, and this week was no exception. So there we go. Crypto markets sold off on Friday afternoon as equity markets gave up early gains and closed the day in red. If you're not aware, there was a downgrade to the U.S. I don't know, the U.S. Dollar, was it, or bonds or whatever it was earlier in the week. Fitch downgraded I think it was U.S. Treasury bonds from AAA to AA plus. Ooh, but it was kind of a historic event, so that affected the broader markets. Bitcoin buckled Friday afternoon, down to 28.9 from 29,000. Turn lower during the day. Ripple led the downside action among large cap digital assets by dropping nearly 5% in 24 hours. Ripple is the 5th largest cryptocurrency, or XRP, by market cap, trading at 64 cents, its lowest since July 13's partial court win against the SEC. ADA, Sol, and Matic, the tokens of smart contract platforms, Cardano, Solana, and Polygon also reverse giving up early gains. LTC, Litecoin, continued its losing streak. Some smaller crypts were up. SHIB was up. Dog theme token SHIB was up 4% as developers unveiled plans to tie all ecosystem applications to a blockchain-based digital identity. Helium, HNT, surged nearly 19%. Okay. And so here, what I was talking about, the equity markets dropped this week, turned modestly negative by Friday. So that's the overall crypto market. And this is the credit rating. I guess it's the U.S. debt rating. And I'm assuming U.S. debt means a treasury bond. I could be wrong about that. Fitch downgraded the U.S. debt this week. It's a warning to American policymakers and underscores why Bitcoin and other open monetary systems matter. Whenever U.S. credit ratings come into view, as it did with Fitch's surprise downgrade, it's an opportunity to discuss the connection between money, debt, and power and explore how Bitcoin and crypto could upend those relationships. So there was a downgrade, moderately poor outlook for U.S. government finances. An actual default by the U.S. is highly unlikely. The debt ceiling chicken game that occurs whenever there's the debt ceiling needs to be raised so that the U.S. can meet all its obligations. I don't know. I don't think it occurs every year, but it occurs every a couple of years or so. And they've been doing this for the last 10 or 15 years. Every time there's a requirement for the debt ceiling to be raised, there's a lot of back and forth in Congress and this huge game of chicken, and there's talk of a U.S. default, but it never happens. I mean, it's almost getting to the point where I don't even care anymore when I hear about this stuff, because they're always going to come to some sort of agreement at the last minute, and but this repeating cycle contributed to Fitch's downgrade. Money printing to repay debts. The U.S. economic system generally works for most people. Except for most of us little guys who suffer from what's called the inflation tax. inflation always goes up. It never really goes down. It's what's called a hidden tax, and it's much easier for governments to print more money and have that hidden inflation tax rather than raising taxes. So raising taxes is something that people are keenly aware of and will complain about. But the inflation hidden tax is something that a lot of people just don't really either recognize, or if they recognize that everything they buy gets more expensive, they sort of throw up their hands and say, well, that's just how things are, without directly relating it to financial policy. But it is, and the government printing money and driving up inflation is another factor of Fitch's downgrade. And that's another reason that people are interested in Bitcoin, which is a decentralized currency that can be sent across the room or across the world with equal ease. It's not controlled by any government, is deflationary by nature. It can never be adjusted by government policy. It's a set algorithm, built-in software code base, and a lot of people are turning to Bitcoin as a more stable store of value than the United States dollar. We'll see. Kenny sent me this story about Coinbase. Coinbase challenges the SEC in court. I guess gathering strength from the court case decision a few weeks back with Ripple. Gaining a partial victory over the SEC. Now Coinbase is challenging the SEC in court. Paul Grewal, representing Coinbase, took to social media today to disclose the company's strategy in its ongoing legal tussle with the SEC. In a series of tweets, Grewal asserted that Coinbase's offerings do not fall under the purview of investment contracts, as understood through years of judicial rulings. He further contends that the SEC's actions, by sidestepping decades of binding legal precedent, overstep the limits set by Congress and defy its earlier interpretations of securities laws. The core of their argument hinges on the due process of the proper use of discretion. So now we've got Coinbase challenging the SEC, so we'll see. I think the broader cryptocurrency industry is gaining some confidence against the onslaught of the SEC and its regulatory bullying and its regulation by legal action, right? Rather than trying to come up with reasonable regulations, they're simply going after these companies for violations. It's not a good way to regulate the crypto industry. And so now there's a little pushback. Let's hope it sticks. Right. And then Kenny also sent me this article about the candidates and their views on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general. The most pro-crypto Democrat is presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the nephew of President John F. Kennedy, who recently said that Bitcoin captured his attention at the beginning of 2022, vowed to implement several pro-BTC laws should he win next year's elections. For one, he promised to protect the rights of Americans to hold and use the primary digital asset. He also vowed to introduce legislation that supports the advancement of Bitcoin and enables people to control their passwords, wallets, and nodes. And that's very interesting. There have been a lot of laws and regulations and policies that have attempted to sort of destroy the rights of individual wallet holders with regulations and the travel rule and all this stuff. And so this is refreshing that there's a candidate that's addressing those issues and promising to uphold the rights of the individual wallet holder. I really like that. One of Kennedy's most groundbreaking promises is to back the US dollar with real finite assets, including gold, silver, platinum, and Bitcoin. The American author and speaker Marianne Williamson is also a nominee. Unlike Kennedy, though, she has not been that vocal relating cryptocurrencies. The biggest crypto fans within the other big party in the U.S. Include Ron DeSantis, Florida's governor, and Francis Suarez, Miami's mayor. The former pledged that one of his main duties as president, this Miami's mayor, Francis Suarez, should he be elected, will be to end the war on Bitcoin waged by America's current government. He also opposed the possible launch of central bank digital currencies, asserting he would throw that product in the trash can immediately after becoming USA's next political leader. The mayor of Miami, Suarez, appears to be an even bigger supporter than DeSantis. He introduced multiple initiatives surrounding the primary digital asset in Miami and became the first American politician to receive his salary in Bitcoin instead of fiat. Interesting. And of course, the number one runner in the Republican race is Trump. Even though he's under indictment on several charges, he is still the front runner for the Republican nomination. Go figure. But he is not a huge fan of Bitcoin. Over the years, he has said that Bitcoin, or the asset class, is potentially a disaster waiting to happen and could hurt the US dollar. He also hinted that Bitcoin might be a scam, urging people to focus on the greenback instead. I don't know. I mean, we're still not quite a year out from the election. We're close to being a year out from the election. Trump may change his tune regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because the climate has changed since he made those statements, right? He made a lot of that stuff he said back in 2018 when he was president. His view or his platform regarding cryptocurrencies might change. Politicians tend to test the waters by observing, the polls with other candidates when they reveal their views on a particular issue, and he might change his views in order to steal some demographics from other candidates, right? That's politics for you. So Trump might change his views on crypto, but as it stands, he's kind of in the anti-crypto club. We all kind of know where Joe Biden stands, not very friendly to crypto. The current administration has been pretty hostile to Bitcoin and the greater cryptocurrency market as it stands. So interesting how crypto is gaining at least some presence in the political debates. I like that. Should be out there, right? And then here's another story that I posted. I saw it earlier today. I wanted to point this out because there are always a lot of people that are, writing articles and analyzing the Bitcoin miners and what price Bitcoin miners need to be profitable and or operate or whatever. There was a whole bunch of talk in 2018 about how it was no longer profitable to mine Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin was going to go the way of the dodo bird because Bitcoin mining was not profitable. It turned out to be kind of not true. The way that Bitcoin, the blockchain and Bitcoin mining are interrelated, and the blockchain was created and set up with Bitcoin mining in mind, right? So there's a relationship when the price of Bitcoin goes down and Bitcoin mining becomes unprofitable to a certain extent. A lot of Bitcoin miners turn off their miners, and so there are less people mining, and the Bitcoin difficulty goes down, and then it's sort of a self-correction. So it did not happen in 2018. I don't think it's going to happen next year. But this is an article kind of in relation to the Bitcoin halving event, which will be occurring next year. This is where the Bitcoin rewards for Bitcoin miners are cut in half. If you're not aware, Bitcoin mining is done by super fast mining rigs, which use integrated circuits that simply solve mathematical puzzles. And by doing this, they look for the next Bitcoin block. That's kind of an oversimplification, but that's kind of how Bitcoin mining works. But I wanted to just point out this article because I'm sure you're going to see a lot of articles about Bitcoin mining over the next year as the Bitcoin halving event gets closer. So just take everything you read with a grain of salt. They're going to scream out that, oh, you know, the Bitcoin has to be a certain price by a certain day, or, you know, Bitcoin mining will become unprofitable. And, you know, it's just, you know, analyze all of these. To avoid being in the red, publicly listed Bitcoin mining companies will need the price to be at least 98,000 by the 2024 halving. I don't know about that, right? I'm not going to go into the whole article. I just wanted to point that out, that there's always articles about Bitcoin mining and the price of Bitcoin and how, you know, in order to be profitable miners, the Bitcoin has to be a certain price. That's not necessarily true. Although Bitcoin mining is a much bigger business now than it was back in 2018. There are a lot of publicly listed Bitcoin mining companies now. So it is a little more relevant than it was back in 2018. Right. So let's see. Let me get caught up. Looks like there's a lot of good discussion going on. Chaos reigns. Folks should hit the like button. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Dan Trouble Westra. Birds, bees, and trees. If you don't update your Nano soon, it might become updated. The whole concept of a ledger device or any hardware wallet that is flexible, and they should be flexible because blockchains change. Bitcoin is not a static asset. It is a living, breathing, open source computer program that gets updated almost continually. Well, continually, right? Continuously means all the time. Continually means like most of the time. So they're constantly updating the code, adding new features, fixing bugs, adding new security, all that kind of stuff. And so your cryptocurrency hardware wallet has to be able to roll with those changes and adopt those changes, right? So that is what firmware is for. So a device like a Ledger, or in this case, I think we're talking about a Ledger Nano S, you should keep the device up to date, just like a phone. I mean, a lot of people are mystified, and they say things like, why do I need to update my firmware? And, you know, I'm just like, what doesn't get updated that you're in tech that you're aware of, right? My smart TV needs to be updated. They're constantly updating my streaming apps. And then occasionally my whole TV will say, you need to update your smart TV. And you go through this update, you know. Your phone constantly is getting updated. Your computer is always getting updated. So why is it mysterious to people why a crypto wallet gadget would also need to be updated? It's common sense, right? So yes, you need to update your firmware. Don't just leave your device in a drawer for 3 years because this happened in 2020. A lot of people bought Ledger Nano S's, bought some Bitcoin in 2017, threw their ledger in a drawer, and then when 2020 rolled around and the market was hot, pulled out their old Ledger Nano S, and it was unupdatable, right? It gets to a point, if you don't keep it up to date, where it will no longer is capable of getting the latest firmware update. And then you'll have to go out and buy a new device and do a restore. And some of those people that pulled out their Ledger Nano S's after 3 years didn't know where their recovery phrases were. Didn't realize how important that recovery phrase was until their device was unusable. Ouch. Yes, so you should always update your device. Have you ever purchased any Caspa? Not many hardware wallets support it. I'm waiting on OneKey to try it out. No, I have never purchased Caspa, but I did. Let me show you guys. OneKey. Let's go to this camera here. So OneKey sent me their new stuff. This is their this is their metal wallet that you can use to store your seed phrase. This is their new classic device they sent me. And I'm going to do an unboxing and setup for this. And then they also have this thing. It's a OpenKey Lite. It looks like a little NFC card, similar to the Arculus card or the Tangem card. So it looks like OneKey has a solution like this too. I haven't had a chance to open these up, but I will be getting to them. As you guys know, I did the OneKey. I'm sorry. As you guys know, I did the Cold Card video. I talked to Cold Card. They sent me one of their devices. It's really cool. I did a setup video on getting the device set up, and then I did another video on getting wallets connected to it. So, and then we talked about that on the live stream last week. And then I also got a, the camera's on. I also got this Keystone Pro air-gapped wallet, which I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream. We'll play with that one tonight. And someone asked me about the Jade Blockstream. And I went to ask them if they would send me a wallet. And when I started to type their email address, I realized that it was in my Gmail already. And I checked and noticed that I had sent them an email about a month or two ago requesting a wallet. There's really, I don't know, maybe I should try their Twitter, because I sent this request to their business address, thinking that they would get to it, but maybe it fell through the cracks. Sometimes I'll send, because most of these hardware wallet companies don't have a direct way to contact them, which I understand. They don't have the resources. But sometimes I go through their tech support and do my request, and they get, somebody gets them and I get a wallet. Sometimes I try their marketing or their business department. So I'll keep trying on the Jade Blockstream. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Let's see. I want to get through the questions in the stream before we start talking about anything else. Let's see. I haven't purchased Caspa, and I will try to get that Blockstream Jade. Caspa coin made by a scammer. I don't know anything about Caspa. I don't generally do coin evaluations on the live stream. Would you help if you post any sources of scamming? Otherwise, just opinion. I'm always open to hear anything out. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm constantly getting hit with that. Oh, that's a scam. And I don't know, is it the responsibility of the coin to prove they're not a scam? Or is it the responsibility of the people crying foul to prove that there is a source of why it's a scam? I won't get involved in that. But I get hit with that a lot. You know, oh, that's a scam. I'm like, well, how do you know it's a scam? Because you heard somebody else say it. Chaos Reigns, do your own research. Information is out there. What about Mac computers having white papers for BTC? I heard about that a while back. I think that was a thing, that it was kind of embedded in the OS somewhere, the Bitcoin white paper, but that now that they have discovered it, they're going to take it out. I used to be a heavy Mac user back in the early to mid 90s. All the way up into the late 90s. I think in the early 2000s is when I kind of switched over to PC. But I was an avid Mac user. And one of the fun things about Macs was there were so many Easter eggs in the OS, especially back in the early days, like in the, OS 7, OS 8. There were all kinds of little cool things you could do with the option key that would pop up, like the names of the developers and weird stuff like that. So, but I think that's a little bit amateurish for an operating system. So I think that, the powers that be at, say, Windows or Mac OS are going to like get rid of that kind of stuff. Let's see. The Bitcoin white paper hidden inside the operating system on every Apple Macintosh computer will be removed in a forthcoming software update. Yeah. What is the wallet you would suggest for keeping a small amount of Satoshi for retail? There's a lot of phone-based wallets. If you're only dealing with, say, a few $100s worth of Bitcoin, Trust Wallet supports Bitcoin. And that's a very easy to use. Whoops. I better put wallet on there, right? Trust Wallet you can install on your phone. It's a self-custody wallet. They'll give you a backup phrase. If you lose your phone, you can restore it to a different phone. Trust Wallet's pretty easy to use wallet, but the seed is stored on your phone, so it is a hot wallet. Another alternative would be like the Tangem or the Arculus wallet. I like these because these are the private keys are stored offline. These are cold wallets, and they're good for mobile. You can carry them in your pocket. Well, you can keep them in your wallet. Let's see, what is that? Tangem. Someone asked me about Tangem. I did a video on how to get the Tangem wallet set up a while back. Let's see here. Let's do this. So I did do a Tangem wallet setup video a while back. So, and it's not that long ago, so it's still relevant. What are we doing here? Oh, here. I don't know how this got all the way over here. I'll put a link to the Tangem setup video there, and then also there's the Arculus wallet. Arculus wallet, which I like. The main difference between the Arculus and the Tangem is that the Tangem has no backup seed phrase, right? The wallet is self-contained on the cards, and you'll get two or one backup, right? So you can buy a 2-pack or a 3-pack. And it's really easy to set up and use. Really good for, like a go-to, just carry around a little spendable Bitcoin. Unfortunately, the drawback here is if you lose all 3 cards, then you lose your seed phrase, or you lose your crypto, right? It's gone, period. Whereas the Arculus wallet is very similar, but it has a seed phrase, right? When you initialize the wallet, it gives you a seed phrase. In case you lose your card, you can always get a new one and restore. So that's the big difference between these two. But I think Tangem is a little more popular, maybe a little easier to use and set up because you don't have to write down a seed phrase when you're setting it up. It's one of my wallet recommendations. So a good go-to, like spendable Bitcoin wallet. Some people might feel that it's right for them for long-term, major storage, as long as you can keep track of the cards, right? It's a pretty secure solution. I tend to go with like a more durable and flexible wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor when it comes, or Cold Card when it comes to long-term storage, or even a Keystone, right? Something a little more secure when it comes to full storage, long-term storage. Thanks, Rex. Thought Trust Wallet was good. Think you're the one who originally mentioned Trust Wallet. Been pretty okay for me. Yeah, I've had my Trust Wallet for years. Caspa is okay. If you're a Bitcoin maxi, then yes, Caspa is a scam. Okay. I don't know anything about Caspa. I'm not going to dive into that debate. But as Dan points out, it is traded on KuCoin. So it's not, I don't think KuCoin would list a scam token. But the term scam is pretty broad, right? As we saw earlier, Trump called Bitcoin a scam, right? So it's all in the eye of the beholder. Something fishy, yeah. All right, so let's talk about the wallet. If there's no more questions, I'll keep an eye on the stream and try to get to your questions. But I did want to point out that, let's just take a look here. I've just dropped a video this morning, I believe. The final version was finally dropped this morning about the Keystone, which we'll cover tonight. I did my cold card, I guess, after we talked about it on the live stream last week. I dropped my full setup video for the cold card device, and then another setup video on the wallet itself. My views for those aren't very high, and I think maybe the reason is they're pretty long. But as far as I'm concerned, I am not out there to just sort of. I mean, I love clicks. I would love that my videos would get a lot of views, but I'm not going to compromise my values and my the reason I started this channel, which is I am committed to producing clear, easy to understand, step-by-step, complete guides on how to set up and use wallets. I don't just gloss over the topic. I get a lot of people in the comments that say, I'm glad you show every single step, because some of these other YouTubers just assume you know stuff or skip over important steps. And I actually transfer crypto during my setups so that you can see it happening, see it from point A to point B. So one of the results of that is that my videos tend to be long, right? This one is 20 minutes. This one's about half an hour. I was going to do one video, but it would have been, a 50-minute video. I do divide all my videos up into chapters to make them a little more digestible. So, but that's that's my format. And so, yeah, it doesn't lend itself to people just jumping in. But I am a little disappointed because everyone was hounding me to do a cold card video, and they aren't getting that many views. But they will have some longevity, And even into next year, I think they'll get a lot of views as the crypto market recovers, or we hit a new bull run. There'll be a lot of people interested in safe and secure crypto storage. So I'm putting the videos out now. Right, so we did the cold card video. The Secure X video has been up for a while. I did the WorldCoin video, which is getting a lot of views, both negative and positive. So if you're interested in any of these wallets, please check out my channel. You can go to my channel homepage and search for any topic or wallet that you're interested in. I've probably done a video on that. And I'm also going to put this out there too. A lot of people will ask me, hey, which wallet is the best? Just tell me which wallet is the best and I'll buy it. And I'm like, that's not me. I'm not going to just tell you which wallet to buy. And that's a gray area anyway. I don't believe there is a best wallet out there. There are lots of choices. And you have to make an informed decision, and that is what my channel is all about. I don't just tote or shill for one wallet company. I am, I'm an equal opportunity reviewer. If the company will send me one of their wallets, I'll do a review for them. And over the years, I've had a lot of companies that I've established a relationship with, like Keystone and Trezor, and they'll send me wallets. Trezor has been just wonderful. I love the company Trezor. I think last year or the year before, I was like, hey, it's been a while since I've done a setup video. Would you mind sending me, a couple of your wallets? And they always send me their wallets, man. They're a really nice company. And Keystone sends me wallets when they get new ones. The OneKey people, Elipal, all very nice, wonderful people. Ledger, I've got a pretty close relationship with them. I remember I did something for them where I recorded a video that they showed at one of their conferences, and they were like, well, we can't afford to pay you, but we'll send you some swag. And they sent me 4 Ledger Nano X's and t-shirts and all kinds of great stuff. And it's just like, yeah, send me a wallet. I'll do a review, and I'll give you my honest opinion. All right. So that's what you can expect from me as a YouTuber and an educator, is to give you an honest opinion, and I'm not just going to shill stuff. So I have my alternate thing set up over here. Let's see if this camera has not frozen. Let me see what happens here. Is this going to work? No. Well, you can see this, but I'm going to try and see if I can fix this camera. It really bothers me that this camera always seems to freeze. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see if I can get it back. I did it. Yes. Okay. So yeah, so you can see me. You can see the Keystone here. I did want to address one little thing that I found kind of interesting. I've often had people that, I'm going to show you a seed phrase here. Just know that there is nothing in this wallet. It was a seed phrase that was generated during my demo. I didn't write it down, and I got to do that too to get my phone. Whoops! Oh, come on, man! Seriously? Okay, there we go. Okay. So much technical issues getting all of this. So I want you to be able to see my phone. The phone doesn't come out very good on the camera. Well, tonight it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So I have my screen sharing thing for my phone. But anyway, I generated this phrase, and the reason I thought this phrase was interesting was I got a lot of people, they'll say, I got a seed phrase and it has the same word twice. Is that a problem? Or they're worried about that. They think something's wrong. A seed phrase can contain the same word twice. And this is an interesting seed phrase. I have never seen a seed phrase that had the exact same word 3 times. It's my very first. And I've been doing this a long time. I've generated a lot of seed phrases from different wallets. They're all based on the same protocol, the BIP39 protocol, which is an industry standard. This one was generated by the Keystone Pro here. But you'll notice here it has the word stadium is number 3, number 16, and number 21. This is the first time I've ever seen a seed phrase that has the same word 3 times. These seed phrases are generated basically from a random key that gets generated by the hardware wallet, which it's basically just a really long number. And then they take that number and divide it up into chunks, like, you've taken a really long number and divided it into 12 chunks or 24 chunks. And then each of those chunks is used as a lookup in a table. And the table has 2,048 words. So sometimes those words get reused within one seed phrase. And this seed phrase is kind of interesting. Thought I'd point that out. So this is the Keystone 3 Pro, and it's a prototype. It doesn't have full functionality. One of the things that it doesn't have, if I can get this to come up here, is it doesn't have support for their new companion app, right? And I'm not sure, well, Blue Wallet might work. Rabby, oh yeah, Blue Wallet does support Bitcoin. Okay. So it doesn't have all of the wallet support yet. And it doesn't have, there should be a manage assets on here where I can add more assets to the list that you see here. And that's not functional yet. They're going to send me another one. But what's kind of cool, what I really like about this little device here is that in the device settings, and none of these are working yet either, but the wallet settings, you can, as you can see, there's a wallet set up in this, right? But you can add an additional wallet. Let me do this. And basically, okay. You can create up to 3 wallets on this one device. Now, each wallet is going to generate a new seed phrase. So you'll have 3 different, you can have up to 3 different wallets on this device, and they'll each have their own seed phrase. And you're going to need to create a unique PIN for each wallet. And what's cool about that is there is nothing on the device that indicates that there's more than one wallet. Although I'm assuming if an attacker really wanted to find out, he could hit add wallet. And if it told him that there were no more wallets possible, he might know, oh, there's got to be 3 wallets on here. But in general, there's really no indication on the device itself that it's managing more than one wallet, right? So the nice thing about that is that you can have 3 different wallets with 3 different pins. One pin can be your go-to pin. That's your decoy wallets, right? That have some crypto in them, but not a whole bunch. And then your alternate pin could lead to a wallet that has a lot more crypto in there, but you don't want anyone to know about it. And if you're under duress, you can simply reveal that decoy wallet. And you can do this with a lot of other hardware wallets, but most of the alternate wallets require a passphrase, right? So like the Ledger and the Trezor can only support one master private key or seed phrase, right? So the only way to manage multiple wallets is using the passphrase, and that's pretty complex and difficult and cumbersome. Whereas this wallet, you can manage 3 wallets kind of without a passphrase, right? You'll just have to make sure that you hide your seed phrases. So I think that's pretty cool. So, but what I wanted to show you guys was how do we set up a wallet and manage it using the Keystone 3 Pro and its air gap capabilities, right? So I already have a wallet set up. So what I'm going to do is I'll sync it up with the MetaMask wallet. And MetaMask, and this is mobile MetaMask, right? I think you can do this with desktop MetaMask, but I found it difficult, right? So actually, I'm going to move this camera out of the way. Hopefully it won't fall. I don't use that camera anymore after the intro. So I should have maybe played around with Blue Wallet, but we'll stick to MetaMask, right? So basically when you tap here, it's going to give you the outward facing piece of the Ethereum chain for MetaMask. Not just Ethereum, but Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Polygon, all the EVM chains, right, that are supported in MetaMask. So all you have to do is open up your MetaMask wallet, and you can create a new wallet. Whoops, I got to look at this thing. Based on your hardware device. So right here, I've got account 1. I want to tap to add a new account, and it says add account or hardware wallet, right? So for add the hardware wallet, I'll choose add hardware wallet. Whoops. And notice how this is compatible with Keystone, right? This, I think, one of the only wallets that is compatible with MetaMask. Oops, I'm stepping on my peanuts down there. My Planner's peanuts. So yeah, if you're a big fan of MetaMask and you want to use mobile MetaMask, then the Keystone Pro is your go-to air-gapped wallet solution for managing a MetaMask wallet with a hardware private key, right? So I'll tap continue here, and it wants access to my camera, and it wants to scan that code on my Keystone. And I had a little problem with this when I was doing my setup video. It took me a while to get this thing to scan. It's a little finicky, but it will get it eventually. It's kind of a combination between the camera and the... There it goes. All right, so as you can see here, I've got... I can manage multiple accounts on the Ethereum blockchain. And if you go back to the Ethereum wallet of the device, you can see the Ethereum address there. That is the exact same address showing up on my phone, right? And you can even manage more than one account. These, the MetaMask has scanned this device and got the public piece of the Ethereum wallets, right? Let me get back to this. Oops. Nope, sorry. Actually, we're going to need that anyway. All right, so I'll just select the first account. I only need one, really. You can have more than one if you want. I'll choose unlock. And I think that's it. It's in there now, right? So now you can see I'm managing a Keystone wallet. So if I go to receive, there's that Ethereum address that we were just looking at on this device, right? So this wallet is now protected by the private key on this. Right? So the private key for this MetaMask wallet, this particular one, right? I got two. I've got this one, which is the base account of the phone-based MetaMask, and that is not protected, right? A lot of people ask me that too. They're like, oh, can't I just protect all my MetaMask accounts with a hardware device? No, you can't just add hardware support to an existing account. You have to start a new account and link it up to your hardware device. And then if you've got a bunch of assets in your base configuration, you'll need to transfer them. Anyway, let's get back to this. As you can see here, I've got a public address. I'm going to share that address by doing a receive. And I'll share it with myself by simply sending myself an email. And that's it. There, I just sent myself an email. Now I have that address and I can fund this wallet. Let's go back over to the main screen for that. So let me quickly fund that wallet from my ledger. First thing I'll do is check my email. I think I sent it to my personal email, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of weird. Ever see that? Oh, I think I did the wrong thing. That's not what I wanted to do. Let me try that again. What'd I do? Okay, so I wanted to receive. Scan this address. Request payment. No. It's like I've never done this before. I will receive. I'm going to copy that into my clipboard, or I want to send it out to myself. Huh. Is that, well, that's the address anyway, right? Okay. It just looks weird. Usually I see it as a, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the Ethereum address that I'm dealing with there. So we'll copy that. Let's run over to our ledger and quickly send some, now, Bitcoin is not compatible with Bitcoin, so we'll send a little bit of ETH. Paste in that address. Let's do 20 bucks worth of ETH. All right, and I'm going to need to send that out. Let's see if I can show you this. Yeah. Yeah, this is the I'm showing you two different wallets here, but someone was here early and asked me about transfers. So we're transferring some Ethereum from point A to point B, right? We do the same thing if we were making a withdrawal from our exchange, right? We send Bitcoin to an address, right? I sent myself that address. Trying to get the mic here where you can hear me. And so I'm sending, this is the address of the MetaMask wallet that's protected by the Keystone Pro. And I'll choose accept and send. And I also wanted to show you a little bit of the how we could manage, like, say, Polygon. Polygon is pretty fast, right? I use the same address, right? That's the same address of my MetaMask wallet, mobile MetaMask, even though I haven't set up the Polygon chain on that MetaMask yet. Watch what happens when I do. That Polygon will be there. Okay, it wants me to open the Polygon app. And review. And we'll send that out. I did this in the longer video that I posted, but I figured I'd do it for you guys tonight too, just to kind of show you how air gap transactions work. All right, so we're done with that. Right, so we're just gonna wait a few minutes for the wallet to be funded. Oh, that didn't take very long. All right, so there's the Ethereum. It already came into the wallet, right? So I can see it on my phone, right? So I can manage it on my phone, but I cannot send this Ethereum out of this wallet unless I have the Keystone Pro device, right? The Keystone Pro is the ultimate authority here. It's the keys that allow me to unlock this crypto that's out there on the blockchain, right? I control the private key. It's in my Keystone, right? So even if someone has my phone, they can't do anything with this crypto. They can look at it. Now, what I wanted to show you is, let's say I want to add the Polygon network to my MetaMask. Well, I'll go up to the top here. I'll choose select a network. Right now, it's only Ethereum and Lena, so I'll tap Add Network, right? And then I can add several networks, right? Arbitrum, Avalanche, Optimism, Polygon. Let's add Polygon. And that's the Polygon network. I'll approve that. And then I'll go ahead and switch over. And lo and behold, okay, got it. There's some Matic in there already because I sent this Matic to the same address. Notice the address for the Matic is the same, right? It's the exact same address as the Ethereum chain. So all of these EVM chains in MetaMask have the same address, even though they're on different networks. You got the Polygon network, Binance Smart Chain. If you look at any of those types of addresses, they all look like Ethereum addresses because in essence, they are based on the same chain, right? So cool stuff, right? Now, I didn't expect to get them that fast. We can send them right back out, but and I'll show you how to do that. But let me just see what people are asking. Do you generate the seed offline when using cell phone by putting it in airplane mode, then use wallet to generate the seed? You could put the phone in airplane mode when you're generating the private key and then writing it down. I guess that would be a level of security, although even after you've written it down, the key itself is still stored on your phone. But you're right. If your phone is like on and connected to the internet, and you're looking at it, you know, on the screen, it might be a little more vulnerable at that point. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to put your phone in airplane mode while you're backing up the seed, right? That's kind of, yeah. It's a good thing to do. Better, little security. More security is always better until it becomes cumbersome. People ape everything. Don't you just know it's trash and take a gamble if you want? I don't have a laptop or a PC. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people out there, you know, worldwide have phones, but not PCs or laptops and want to be able to mess with crypto. So there are a lot of ways to manage crypto on your phone. I mean, even if you don't have a laptop or a PC, you could get even Ledger supports mobile, and Keystone Pro supports mobile, and these two support mobile. So you know, you can do a lot. You can even manage crypto with hardware devices, even if all you have is mobile. But like on Trust Wallet that lives on your phone only, then yeah, maybe a good idea to disconnect in airplane mode while you're backing up the seed. But as I mentioned, the seed will still be on the phone, just kind of in an encrypted format. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if all you have is a phone, then a Tangent wallet or an Arculus wallet is not that expensive. Keystone Pro, I think it's like 100 something, 150, 160. But cheaper than going out and buying a laptop. WorldCoin is a scam, and I'm laughing and crying. I don't know if it's a scam. That's a subject of debate. But as I mentioned, I posted that video and there were a lot of negative comments about WorldCoin. I'll tell you. Have you received any news about the Ledger stacks? No news about the stacks. Again, not a peep out of Ledger about my stacks. And I'm one of their affiliates. Yeah, I don't even want to ask them anymore. I'm like, who cares? Let's see here. Don't like the tokenomics of WorldCoin. Otherwise, I bought it. Which coin y'all think is next to the moon? I don't know. Is there an end to the amount of coins they can create? Is there an end to the human imagination? No. Just a small part is in circulation. Yeah, you got to watch out for centralization with a lot of coin projects. That's for sure. I keep hovering and it's putting some crazy stuff over my... a lot of sell pressure around the corner. Litecoin missed the pump at halving. Had an early pump, but the rumors sell the halving. LOL. Lena is a network with no coin? Question mark? Yeah, I don't know. I think Lena's like some kind of test network, if I'm not mistaken. I just got a Keystone Essential a few weeks ago. You know what? I don't know. It's funny. I did that video and I'm not... I thought that I had Keystone up here. I don't know what this transition plan is about. Maybe it's some kind of thing that the Keystone, this chapter, they want... yeah, I'm not sure what this is about, the transition plan, but... technology is there's always a conundrum. And I like to compare this with Windows and Mac. Back in the day when I was selling computers back in the mid-90s. Windows as a system, as an ecosystem or an operating system, however you want to think of it, was tended to be backwards compatible centric. So the Windows system took great pains to stay backwards compatible. And the innovation of their operating system suffered because of that. On the other hand, you had the Mac system, which was very forward-thinking and really didn't pay a whole bunch of attention to the backwards compatibility issue. They were constantly abandoning older devices, older technology in favor of innovation. If you recall, if you're as old as I am, back in the 90s, the Apple computer introduced the iMac. The original iMacs did not come with a floppy disk. And every customer that came in freaked out. Where's the floppy disk? Where's the floppy disk drive? And I was like, Steve Jobs doesn't think we need floppy disk drives anymore. Well, everybody had floppy disks back then. But do you see floppy disks on computers anymore? No. Even PCs don't come with them anymore. You'd be hard-pressed to even find one if you needed one. And who would? Nobody uses floppies anymore. So that is the contrast there. And I bring that up because Keystone has just come out with a brand new device. And maybe you bought one of their earlier devices within the last year or so. That's kind of a bummer. I don't know that they're going to accommodate people. I know there were some companies that were... I can't think of them, but they will accommodate people if you had purchased one of their products within the previous year or whatever. I don't know that Keystone is doing anything of that nature, but you have to make a decision as a company. Are you going to support innovation and be forward thinking, or are you going to constantly try to support older devices and systems? And I tend to think that supporting innovation is a better path. That's just me. Now, a lot of people are like, no, stick with the old stuff. It works. It's just a matter of what you think. But yeah, they've got a brand new device. It doesn't make their old device obsolete. It just means that they've got this better device. As I mentioned, it supports 3 wallets. I don't know if the earlier one does. I don't think it does. But this new one, as you can see over here, has a, you can plug in the charging cable. The older one does not. Right? The older one, you have to take the battery off to charge it. And so the device was unusable while you were charging it. Now, they also had like a battery pack, but it was not very good at all. I don't know what the deal was, but it just would suck the life out of your batteries very quickly. Why don't we send some of this crypto out? And I can do this all phone to phone because I have Ledger Live on my phone. Actually, I could have got the addresses from Ledger Live on my phone. But anyway, I went back over to the computer. So why don't we start with the Matic? I want to send this Matic out. All right, so let's get a sending address. We need to send it somewhere. So if this were on an exchange and I wanted to withdraw it, then I would just need to get an address, right? So I'll go over to my Ledger Live. And I'll go to my Ethereum wallet and I'll do a receive. I don't even need the device at this point, right? I don't need to verify this, right? With my device. All I need is the receiving address. You don't need to authorize incoming transactions. Although it's best practice to do the hardware check when you get a receiving address. I've seen this address for years. I know this is my Ethereum address. So I have the Ethereum address in my clipboard. I can go back over here. Actually, that's the Ethereum address we're sending Polygon. So let's do it formally. Let me get actually the Polygon address, but it's the same, even though it's the exact same address, but we'll just do it properly, right? Whoops. Yeah. So I'm going to get the address without verifying on my hardware device, copy it into my clipboard, slide back over to my MetaMask wallet. Let's do that send. All right. I'll paste in that address of my Ledger wallet. And we'll go next. And we'll just go ahead and send it all. And we'll choose next again. Now, the outgoing transaction needs to be authorized. They say confirm, but it's pretty much the same thing. We're going to sign the outgoing transaction, right? I cannot do this just on my phone. I need the device to authorize the transaction. How are we going to do that? We're going to use air gap technology. You'll notice that I can just unplug the device just so you can see nothing up my sleeve, right? It's not connected to anything, right? This is the private key, completely air gapped solution. That's kind of hard to see on that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there it is, right? So I'm going to say confirm with Keystone. The phone, the MetaMask mobile app is going to generate a signature request, right? Or what they call partially signed Bitcoin transaction. I need to scan this with the Keystone device. Keystone? Keystone Pro 3. All right, so here's the scanner. Notice there's a little camera on the back of this thing, right? I'll tap that. It's going to open up the camera, and I'm going to scan that, and boom, there we go. This is the request, and it's just waiting for me to sign it. So I'm going to authorize it. The only way to authorize the outgoing transaction is with the device because the private key is on the device. Now I can slide this across to do the signature. Whoop, I just signed it. I need to enter my passcode. So give me a second on that. And all right. And then I'll hit this button. Now it gives me, now this is not private information. I'm not revealing the private key by showing you this QR code. This is simply the authorization for that one request, that one transaction request. All right. So there's the authorization. And now in MetaMask, I'm going to choose Get Signature. That's the signature right there. Right? I'll tap Get Signature. Now MetaMask wants me to scan that signature. And like I said, it's a little, I have to tweak it a little to get it to come into proper focus. There it goes. Transaction submitted. Waiting for confirmation. Out that polygon goes. Transaction finished, right? Let's do it one more time so you can get the flow, right? I'll go ahead and do that. Whatever. If you start bugging me, I'll delete you. I'm talking to my phone. All right, let's switch back over to the Ethereum. And there's some Ethereum in there. Let's go ahead and send it out. We'll go over to the destination wallet. We'll get the Ethereum address. It's the same address that we had before. We'll do a receive. Yes, I'm going to disable that. Copy the address into our clipboard. Come back over to MetaMask. Do a send. Paste in the address of the destination wallet. Tap next to put in the amount. I'll send it all. Now I need to confirm this outgoing transaction with the Keystone. We'll tap confirm. There's the request. We'll scan the request with the Keystone. There's the authorization request. Gives me all the information about the transaction, and I'll sign it by sliding this over. I'll need my passcode. All right, I've entered my passcode. And there's the authorization. You can set up a fingerprint on this device, but that part is not active right now. I'm using the passcode. Get signature. There, and now I need to scan that authorization. Let's see if I can do that from here. There it goes. Okay. And that's going out. It should disappear here in a sec. Any day now. Okay. Yeah. There's a little dust left in there. Okay. So we did 2 outgoing air gap transactions. That's cool. Cool little wallet. I really like it. Let's go back here. Here. Okay. So that was good. Yeah, like I was talking about, this has a fingerprint reader on it, but that I tried to set that up. This functionality is not on this alpha device yet. But I had done an earlier video on the Keystone, and somebody in the comments said, that thing's not safe. Anybody can get your fingerprint. And I was like, that's pretty foreboding. Anybody? I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, they could cut your finger off. But I said, or somehow get your fingerprint and then transfer it onto a special glove, like, you know, Mission Impossible or whatever. I don't know how anybody, you know, is going to have the know-how to, like, clone my fingerprint. But okay, yeah, I get it. But I was like, you don't have to use the fingerprint reader. You can just use the PIN code, which, I mean, only you will know. But that fingerprint reader really makes signing transactions much more convenient because I don't have to stop to enter my PIN code. I just touch the back of the thing with my finger. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, I think I had done a Keystone or something in one of the live streams and someone made the comment, my God, what if you lose your finger? And it was kind of like, oh, you lose your finger, you lose your crypto. And I was like, no, if the fingerprint reader fails, it simply asks you for your PIN code, you know. But yeah, what if you lose your head? Yeah, well, I mean, if you lose your head, then the crypto is not the least of your concerns. But I guess if you lost your finger and that was the only thing standing between you and your crypto, then you'd be a little more upset about losing your finger. But no, yeah. I don't know. I get a lot of comments where they think everything is really cut and dried. You know, the main one is I'll do hardware demos and they'll say, what if you lose that device? You know, then all your crypto's gone. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You have backup phrases. You know, I think it would be kind of weird if, you know, your crypto relied specifically on a particular device. That would be kind of shaky, right? If you were putting all of your trust and your life savings on this little piece of plastic and circuitry. I totally get that. But yeah, I mean, hardware wallets always have a backup seed phrase of some kind. You know, in the case of the Tangent wallet, you've got 2 other backup cards in case you lose your card. Keystone wallet, let's see, what's the cost? Let's take a look. Oh, the pre-sale starts in 3 days. The Keystone Pro, I don't think they have the Keystone Pro 3 on their website yet. The old Keystone Pro is $169. More than a Ledger Nano X, right? The Nano X is $150. The Trezor Model T is $219 regular. Although Trezor generally will have sales, but yeah, I believe the Trezor. Well, come on now. Trezor is $219. Yeah. Trezor, by the way, was the very first hardware wallet company. 2014. Was when they came out with their first hardware wallet, before even Ledger. And the Trezor Model 1 is, you know, affordable. Although I really like the Model T because of its touch screen. But, you know, it's not the most expensive crypto wallet out there. The Engrave, which I did a review of, I think kind of wins that award for being the most expensive out there. It's like through $400, but it's worth it because of, you know, its touchscreen technology. It's like the largest touchscreen in the industry, as far as I'm aware. But there's also the Secure X, which I did a review on. Whoops. I did a review on the Secure X W20, and it's only $119, and it has a decent size touchscreen. It's bigger than the Trezor, not as big as the Engrave, but still a decent size touchscreen for a pretty decent price. This is a good combination of affordability and usability, right? Security too. It's an offline hardware wallet. So, you know, like people come and, oh, please just tell me the best wallet to buy. I'm like, I can't. You know, there's a lot of choices out there. Not to mention the fact that since this Ledger Recover debacle came out, the general consensus in the crypto community is that you don't store all of your assets in one wallet. And yeah, that can get expensive if you want to go out, you know, if you want to have 4 or 5 different hardware wallets, that's a big investment. Start small, maybe. You and as you gain more crypto, maybe pick up another wallet or here and there to spread your assets out a little. It's just what's going on. Long term, what's my favorite crypto long term? Like I said, it's a tough question for me to answer. I still, the Ledger device is still my go-to device. And you can see here that we've got both the incoming and the outgoing and incoming, right? This is the outgoing to the Keystone. This is the incoming coming back. So it came back after we did that air gap. But, I like the Keystone Pro and the Cold Card are two of my top candidates for long-term crypto storage. Although I would venture to say that the Ledger probably supports more crypto than either of those. I'm just spitballing. But the Ledger device, the number one selling hardware wallet in the world, had some issues. Yes, that's true. But it still has, I believe, the highest level of industry support. What do I mean by that? I mean that there are a lot of crypto projects out there that are writing apps for this device. So this device supports Cosmos chain, Polkadot chain, Hedera, Ethereum, Algorand, Digibyte, Cardano, XRP, Tron. I mean, the Ledger device has probably the largest amount of multiple cryptos that are out there. And I get a lot of people that get mad because the Ledger doesn't support every crypto in existence. They're like, why don't they support this new coin? I'm like, they're trying their best, right? But the Trezor device doesn't support that many cryptos natively, right? And I don't know why that is. I guess it's because they just don't get that industry support of the blockchain developers creating apps. Maybe their API is a little difficult to use. I don't know. But I do know that, as far as usability, multiple crypto support, Ledger kind of takes the cake with, industry support for multiple blockchains. Now, if all you want to store is Bitcoin and Ethereum, then then your criterion will be different, right? You might want to just go with a cold card. The cold card is a Bitcoin only storage solution, right? We've talked about cold card. I mentioned that I did some videos on cold card. Great long-term Bitcoin storage solution, but it's Bitcoin only, right? Maybe you've got like 10 or 12 different cryptos. The cold card is a great solution for your Bitcoin, but what are you going to do with your other cryptos, right? You're going to have to buy some other wallets. Keystone Pro, which I just showed you, is another great secure solution, but I don't know. I'll have to look. Let's see here. They've got, where is this? Wallets and assets. Okay, assets. Let's see here. Let's see what they say. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether. I'm looking for Polkadot. Okay, they support Polkadot. Okay, that's pretty good. Do they support Cosmos? They said, well, Avalanche. They support Cosmos. Well, looks like the Keystone Pro has quite a bit of industry support as well. Kronos, Optimism, these are all just EVM chains, right? XDC, which I hate. Don't ask me about XDC, please. And then more, right? So, okay, Keystone looks to be like a pretty good solution. The only thing about the Keystone Pro is the air gap solution is very safe and secure, but a little cumbersome and maybe a little complicated for the new user. There are a lot of people out there that probably couldn't figure out even how to use a ledger device, let alone something more complicated like, you know, a Keystone Pro. It's for serious people. And if you've got crypto and you're serious about crypto, then, you know, do a little research and educate yourself. It's not rocket science. Anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. The thing is that most people are kind of like, it shouldn't be this hard, so I'm not going to take the time to learn how to do it. Don't be that way. I would consider a paper wallet too, only because you do not have to update the software. You can throw it in a safety deposit box and forget it. That is true, but paper wallets are basically obsolete now. Okay, whoops. I think I got this. How you spell his name? Paper. Here it is. For the last time, stop using paper wallets. He kind of goes through the whole paper wallet thing was big back in the early days of crypto. But he goes through all of the reasons why they are now obsolete. Single key paper wallets are basically obsolete, although you can still use them if you want to. But I have a lot of people ask me about paper wallets because they consider them super secure. And that is true. I mean, they don't require any firmware updates or anything like that because you've got you've got the public key and the private key. But yeah, I mean, I think they're a little outdated. Their technology is a little obsolete. I'll go ahead and throw a link to that video in the stream chat because I thought that was kind of funny. I had never, I hadn't used a paper wallet in a while. But I had a lot of people that were having trouble sweeping their keys from their paper wallets. And basically they were like, I have this paper wallet and I can't access the crypto in there. They were having trouble sweeping the private keys. So if you're going to go the paper wallet route, please make sure that you know what you're doing and you've gone through a few tests so that you're proficient in getting crypto in and out of the wallet, right? Maybe set up a paper wallet to do a small test, sweep the private keys into something, make sure you can get access to the crypto, before you just throw like your life savings in a paper wallet. Paper burns, paper fades, paper's, not waterproof. There's a lot of disadvantages to the paper wallet. If you want a wallet that is simple, I like the Ballet wallet. I have my little Ballet wallet over here. It's simply a card. It comes from the factory pre-configured with a public key and a private key. The private key is under the sticker. And so you basically have to peel the sticker off to get to the private key if you want to take crypto out of the wallet. And it's an incentive for me not to touch whatever's in there because once you pull the sticker off, you've kind of compromised the wallet. But it's very easy to use because you can scan they have an app that you can use to manage the crypto in there. It's very easy. It's a no-brainer. But a lot of people don't like the Ballet wallet because they don't trust the company to generate a random seed that they think that somebody at that company has all the seeds and they're going to steal everybody's crypto. That it's almost like saying, gee, I don't think I should put my money in the bank because the bank manager might take my money. I don't know. It's analogous. It's maybe not. Most people, banks are regulated. Banks are, there's FDIC insurance. There's, blah, 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 blah. But it's similar, like, oh, I'm not going to use my credit card with Amazon because they might, steal my credentials and run up a bill on my card. Well, they don't, because they're running a business, right? They're not running a criminal organization. They're running a business. So I think the same holds true with the Ballet wallet, right? They're running a business, right? They're not running a criminal enterprise. But people don't trust the wallet generation process. But very simple, easy to use wallet that requires no updates, no firmware, nothing. It'll last. You can throw it in a safe and forget about it. But thank you for pointing that out about the paper wallets. That is true. I told my mate to keep it on an exchange. It's safer there, knowing him. LOL. Yeah, that's true. Another thing that you'll hear from Andreas Antonopoulos. I love Andreas Antonopoulos, one of the giants in the Bitcoin industry, right? Wrote the book Mastering Bitcoin. Very intelligent guy. But he talks there, one of his videos, he talks about the problem with people trying to be super secure is that they create a secure system that quickly exceeds their technical capabilities and they lose their crypto. So there are a lot of people out there, as Laxi mentions, that are not capable of managing their own crypto and are more likely to lose it trying to manage it than holding it, right? So for a lot of people, leaving it on the exchange is the better solution. I got to tell you this story. I don't mean to disparage anyone. I'll try to keep it as anonymous as possible. But my good friend Randy contacted me, and he had some friends of his that had purchased some Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin, like thousands of dollars of Bitcoin at a Bitcoin ATM, and they didn't know where it was. And I was like, who buys that much Bitcoin at a Bitcoin ATM and then doesn't know where it went, As it turns out, it's fine. They were forced to download an app where they could store the Bitcoin, which they did. We discovered, I just have to show them where it is. It's on your phone. It's in this app, right? But they were like, Bitcoin, I want to buy some Bitcoin. They didn't know how else to do it. They saw an Bitcoin ATM, I guess, at the mall. And then, they fed in thousands of dollars, I guess, in $100 bills into this ATM without fully thinking about what the consequences of those actions were and how they were going to manage that once they got it. So it was kind of thank you, Joseph. It's kind of a weird situation. Everything's fine, but it just kind of boggled my mind that someone would spend that kind of money and then not really know how to get access to it. Thank you for what you do for us. Try to order a ledger with your Amazon link, but none available in the UK. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Ordered one with with your other link. Thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate that. Either way, you helped support me and the channel, whether you order that ledger from Amazon or whether you order your ledger directly from ledger.com. I have an affiliate link for either one of those. I will get a small commission, even though it's not going to cost you anymore. And I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting me and the channel and the general cryptocurrency. Let's see what there's a little latency, and it's longer than I thought. It seems like it's about 10 or 30 seconds because I'm streaming in 4K, right? So I can see that you donated in the super chat, but we still haven't got the alert in the live stream yet. Well, whatever. There it goes. Thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate that. Really do. You got the dancing kitty. I wanted to point this out. I
Welcome back to the program.
I am a big fan of Pee Wee Herman. I found him hilarious. And one of the highlights of my Saturday morning back in the, it must have been in the 80s, whenever his Pee Wee Playhouse show was on, I was an adult at the time, right? I'm an old man, but I don't know, I was in my 30s, I guess. And every Saturday morning I would watch Pee Wee's Playhouse, and I could count on a belly laugh every time. And I just wanted to, give a little shout out for Paul Rubens, who passed away this week. He brought a lot of joy into a lot of people's hearts, including mine. So a big thumbs up for Pee Wee Herman, and this clip here. This clip here with Letterman is hilarious too. Oh my God, I should put this away because I might get a copyright flag on my video if I show too much of that. I got a flag on my live stream a while back when I showed a little clip of Monty Python. I think I can get away with like half a second but I stopped it, right? But I gave you guys a link to that video of Pee Wee Herman on Letterman. Is hilarious. And if you've never seen Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, you should check that one out too. I think you can get it on. I think it's available on Amazon Prime, and you can watch Pee Wee's Playhouse on Max if if you're a subscriber to the Max. That's the HBO streaming service, right? Okay, so we got a little sidetrack there. Let's see. Amsterdam, Holland, the Zen bleed flaw affects the entire Zen 2 product stack from AMD's data center processor to the Ryzen and can be exploited to steal sensitive data processed in the CPU. Interesting. Hadn't heard about that. I mean, Charles Hodgkinson's did a video on how you may go about encrypting your seed phrase using cryptography, maybe another layer to paper steal backup. Well, I mean, if you have a hardware wallet, thank you for that subscription, by the way. Thank you, Sir Holzelop. When you initialize a hardware wallet, you get a seed phrase, right? And you're expected to write it down. You can easily transfer that seed phrase to anywhere. You can make a copy of it and hide it in multiple locations. You can put it on a metal medium like a crypto tag or a crypto steel. But there's nothing mystical about writing down your seed phrase in alternate mediums, right? You just read it off the paper and put it onto one of these. You don't have to do any kind of encryption. I don't know what Charles was talking about, but I do know that the Daedalus wallet, which is the native Cardano wallet, is capable of generating paper wallets, which can easily be imported back into the Daedalus wallet. And I mean, that's a perfectly legitimate way to store your Cardano, But yeah, I mean, you can use, it's just a matter of how you're writing it down, right? You can use the crypto tag to do it. Right, so there's lots of ways to write down your backup phrase on alternate media, like metal, which is a lot more durable than paper, right? I think this thing's pretty cool. The only problem I have with this thing is that if you are, see how it's kind of like a spindle for all your letters, and each little tab has a letter on it. You can spell it out and you put it on this spindle, and there's a little holder there that prevents it from falling off. But if you're like if you're handling it and you accidentally spill it as you're handling it, then your seed phrase would be lost. So that's a little bit of a, but it has a lot of advantages because you can, I don't know where mine is. I'm not going to rifle through my drawer for it right now, but when it's, you know, in its closed form, it has a little fob thing on the bottom. It doesn't look, it looks like it doesn't reveal itself to be a crypto seed phrase. It just looks like a keychain fob, you know, or maybe, you know, like a small self-defense club or something. You could, I mean, no one would know unless they were familiar with it that it's a backup phrase. You can hide in plain sight. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Going down a little more here. I made some pretty cryptic passwords for pretty low level thing, just trying it out. I had too much trouble just writing into the password text box. Yes. You have to be really careful when you're going out of your way to be secure. Believe me, I've done it. I've like forgot stuff that I thought I was gonna, you know, my daughter and I gave her a ledger device. And I gave her the device and told her to set it up. But I asked her to write down her seed phrase, which I stored. And then the other day I asked her, you know, can we, let's update your firmware. Well, she couldn't remember her PIN and she couldn't find it. So I had to restore the device and we had to set a new PIN. So, and that's just you know, 8 digits, you know, imagine these people trying to write down, you know, 50 character passphrases or 25 character passphrases and then trying to remember them in their head or like writing them down on a Post-it note and losing it. I mean, it's very common. I used to work at a company back in the 90s and the boss never remembered his passwords. I was like helping him and I was assisting him. He'd say, go check, you know, on this website and see if you can get a price from these guys. And I would go to log in and I would say, well, what's your password? What's your login? He'd go, just tell him I forgot my password. So that was his method of logging in. He would always like create a login, forget the password, and every time he logged into the site, he would do a reset to get back in. That was his modus operandi. You know, he just didn't take the time to write down his passwords or create unique, strong passwords for every site that he visited. He would simply create an account and then do a reset every time he wanted to get back in. That's how he operated. Don't be like that. Let's see what else is going on with you guys. Thanks, Kenneth. I had a good time on the stream. I hope you guys got a lot. No, my clock says 7:58. We're getting close, right? Stamp mine into metal ring washers that are on the bolt with numbers on them. Nice. It's a good method. Cheap as well. Right on. Kenny thought I was wrapping up, but I am. Thieves will get smarter in the future. They will look for written seed phrases, of course. That's true. This is always a risk, if I supposed, if someone had physical access. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you know, yeah, looking for a seed phrase is a danger, but, you know, so is everything in your house. I mean, that's why we have locks on our doors and windows, so because we have valuable stuff in our house, right? So seed phrases are included in that. So we have to, you know, learn to live with what we would consider reasonable security. There are lots of ways to hide seed phrases, but it would behoove you to Google where are the 10 worst places to hide something, and you'd be surprised how many of the things you thought of are on that list. Let's do that as our going away. Where? Whoa, come on. Where are the worst places to hide something valuable? Let's see what that... Oh, wait a minute. I want to do it over in Google because they have the generative AI. I think it's pretty nice. Okay, I got the same thing. 11 worst places to hide something. Okay, here we go. Drawers. Well, yeah, for sure. Let's see. Closets. Ooh, yeah. Under the bed. yeah, right. Freezer or fridge. Hey, I could have sworn I was the first person that ever thought I could put something in the freezer and no one would find it. Toilet tank. No. Somebody already thought of that one. Under the mattress. Okay. Backpacks and suitcases. Laundry basket. Ooh, getting creative now. Vases, pots, and bookshelves. Thieves already know about those. In a safe in plain sight. Yeah, they'll just steal the safe or they'll break the safe. You have to be pretty wealthy to have a safe that's impervious to your average burglar, right? I mean, you got to spend a lot of money on a safe that somebody wouldn't be able to carry and wouldn't be able to open with a crowbar. Let's see. Cereal boxes, cans in the kitchens and pantry. In the oven. Right, yeah. So you really need to be creative when you hide your seed phrase, right? Don't just choose like these normal hiding places that most people would think about. Let's see. FYI, recently got Keystone 2. They advised me they are dropping all support in 18 months. They're asking for votes on Twitter if recent purchasers basically will be obsolete in 18 months. Oh, so that's what this is about, right? We were talking earlier about their Twitter thing, the transition plan. Yeah. I think I talked a little bit about, obsolescence and innovation and how that's a constant push-pull for any company or technology. All right. I used the significant historical date for my PIN. Then I just need to remember what year was the War of 1812. Right. They state they need to support Keystone 3 and can't keep supporting Keystone 2. Well, okay. Windows is the same. Windows operating system, I think I don't know if it's a law or whatever, they have to support... they're only obligated to support earlier versions of Windows for 7 years after they introduce a new version of Windows. So, for example, Windows 7 is no longer supported by Microsoft, right? It's inevitable. So, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it kind of sucks that Keystone has to, make this transition, but they wanted to come out with a better device, and they have limited resources, right? They're not Microsoft, right? So, makes you wonder how long Gen 3 will be if they keep dropping support for previous products. No updates, not even security updates. Okay. Yeah. A device has to be flexible. I didn't know that, Jose. I think that's part of what this transition plan is about. We'll see. They'll fix all their bugs within 18 months for the older Keystone Pro 2. Okay. Put it in a safe in a bank. That's another way to do it. But, in a pinch, you might not be able to get access to your bank. Like in a storm or a flood or an earthquake, if you got like important papers in your bank safe deposit and you can't get to them and you need to flee or something like that, maybe the bank isn't always your best solution. But for most cases it is. What if the bank throws out your seed phrase? People have lost a lot due to banks messing up safety deposit boxes. True. Buy Keystone Gen 2 is like not even 2 years old. Yeah. I know and love 7, also like Windows 98 a lot. Evelyn, you're revealing your You're showing your age. I'll tell you though, the very first copy of Windows that I ever installed on my computer was Windows 3.11. Actually, I think I had a version before that. It came on a set of floppy disks. Yep. Well, I mean, the first version from Microsoft that I installed on my computer was DOS. My first PC came with DOS and no Windows. Anyway, guys, it's been great. It's been a good, lively discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation of the new Keystone air gap solution. Sorry to hear about the Keystone 2. I know they're not a huge company, so they had to draw the line somewhere. I hope that, that their policy pays off for them, because it is the Keystone 3 is a decent wallet and very secure. Yep. Anyway, let's see where are we at. Here we go. This is it. I used my stream box. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I will be here again next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Have a good night.